Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to MDLR Fishing. The long anticipated wait is finally over, and I am excited to be able to finally tell y'all about Old Town's new Sportsman lineup. More so, well, let's wait for us to get the Kayak. All right, hang in there. Say hello to the Old Town Sportsman Autopilot 120. To finally have this boat inside the house here with me in Texas is nothing short of amazing. After months and months of anticipation to see the prototype, to actually test out the prototype out there in Old Town, Maine, to having the production model here before me. Oh, I am just smiling from ear to ear. This thing it's amazing. It's an amazing fishing machine. It screams, put me on the water and I will keep you where the fish are. You've got the Minnkota Motor up here with spot lock technology. It's got the iPilot and a little bit about the motor. 45 pounds of thrust. Also, it's saltwater rated. So for those of you that are like me, and you predominantly fish the salt, don't worry, this motor is perfect for it. And it's got plenty of juice because you have a battery box under here that fits a Group 27 size sealed lead acid battery, which is your normal marine style battery. And then you can also use the lithium battery, which is the route that I'm gonna go. So plenty of battery storage. I'm not even gonna need half of that because of the lithium batteries that I plan on using. 100 amp hours for all day juice. You plug your battery to the terminals and then this quick disconnect goes right inside there, inside that little terminal. It is pre-wired, streamlined for kayak use. A lot of y'all out there have went the route of like doing the DIY style. Okay, why don't you want to go in there? There we go. So a lot of y'all have done the DIY with trolling motor and you had to figure out what kind of mount were you gonna do. Some of y'all put it back here to the rear and yes, it works. It gets you to where you need to go, but then you got to figure out how are you going to steer it. And well, look what Old Town did. They put you a quality Minnkota, none of that white snake motor or whatever you call it, water snake. This right here is just streamlined. It's super sexy, nice and sleek. It's not obtrusive. Whenever you deploy the motor, it is super easy to do. Let's put the seat back up. Let's show you what the motor looks like whenever you deploy it. Now, I don't have a stand for this, so I can't go all the way down, but you grab the deploy pull cord right here. There is a pulley system through here and it goes right there and it anchors in right here. And very easy to deploy. So you just pull that down, lock it into the cleat right here. Your motor goes down. There is a kill switch connection that makes contact with the motor up underneath there and off you go. 45 pounds of thrust, plenty of power. I clocked this thing at about 4 miles an hour. We'll see how the lithium batteries are going to be able to juice it up. And then when you want to get into the marsh and start push poling the way I would do it, you got to stow the motor. So pull up through the cleat and then there is a gas cylinder that pushes your motor up and there you are. Now I'm able to push pole. So here is the controller for it. If, God forbid, you lose this, well, no need to worry because you can, through Bluetooth, use your phone through the iPilot. I want to say it's the iPilot app. Don't quote me on it, but anyhow, you can control it with your phone through Bluetooth, and it's going to work just fine until you're able to replace your remote. So the prop button right there, that turns your motor off and on. The plus button is more speed. Negative button is less speed. Right arrow, you're going to turn your motor right. Left arrow is going to turn your motor left. The anchor, that is where this motor shines. You hit that anchor, and what's going to happen is the motor, through GPS technology, is going to hold you at that spot whenever you hit that button. And no matter what you're doing, while you're sitting right here, whether you're standing up, casting to largemouth bass on beds or whatever, you're fishing the pylons of a bridge, it's going to lock you there. You don't have to worry about the current, the wind, the conditions are null and void. This guy is going to take care of you. When I was out at Old Town, Maine, using this thing, I just hit the spot lock and I was able to hold my position on a ledge where largemouth bass were down below. I changed, not largemouth, they were smallmouth bass. I was changing lures and taking fish on and off. It didn't matter what I was doing. This thing kept me in position to continuously be able to fish. So for a lot of you tournament fishermen out there, this guy, for those of you that are serious now, because not everybody's going to be able to afford this thing, but for those of you that are serious about true hands-free fishing and tending to your fish, holding your position while you're fumbling around with a fish, fumbling around taking your photo, fumbling around with tying on a new leader, you're going to be able to hold your spot. You're not going to have to go over there to that side, do any rudder controls with your feet, still have to pedal or anything like that. This guy is going to truly change the game with hands-free fishing. So what is the price on this guy? Well, let's take a look at the little sell sheet. For the, so it's not actually showing it right here. Well, here's the price right down here for the Autopilot 120, and then there's the price for the Autopilot 136. So there you have it. For those of you that are serious about fishing and you're gonna use this boat a lot, you don't mind spending that price because it's definitely cheaper than the alternative hands-free options that are out there right now. So definitely well under the price tag of the competition. And that's why I say this guy is definitely going to change the way a lot of y'all fish. I know it's going to change the way that I fish for sure. All right, so let's go through a bit of the features. You've got right here, that is the fish finder ready. You mount it over here on one of the tracks. You got it on the left side, the right side. So you've got the fish finder ready on this side as well. Run your wires through the hole. It's going to come out underneath the motor and it goes down underneath to the transducer mount that's down there, and you're ready to go with the fish finder. You've got footrests that also operate the rudder that's back there. So you can steer it one of two ways. You can use the remote to turn left, and here, let's get that in focus, to turn right and then also left. You would basically just leave the motor straight forward and use the footrest to turn. So two ways of operating that motor and piloting it around. So that's the footrest. You can adjust them forward, back, depending on how tall you are or short, and that's going to be an additional way to turn. Now, if you really want to turn on a dime, like just literally do 360s and turn yourself dizzy till you fall out the boat, you can push it all the way right. So your motor is going to be turned to the right, and then you push the rudder all the way to the right, well, you're going to be doing donuts. You'll probably start a whirlpool. So you can use it that way as well. I mean, the options are going to be endless with the way you want to control this boat. And I say boat because that's what I'm going to consider it. This is a kayak. That is my personal boat now. And look at the deck space in here. Oh my gosh, it's clutter-free. Tons of room inside there. The EVA foam padding down there to dampen noise, and then also to help pad your feet. My issue has always been that there is not enough deck space to move around, to turn around to fish the rear of the boat, the front of the boat. You've got lots of space over here, plenty of drainage. You got 5 scupper holes right there. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do is buy some type of a pole that I can stick through there, so whenever I'm in the marsh, I can anchor down right here, and then I can also use my shallow water anchor that is over here, because check out what Old Town did. They gave you the option to use a shallow water anchor as well. So amazing. The options are endless. They spared no expense when creating this thing. It is absolutely beautiful and phenomenal. Streamlined motor again. Right here is your kill switch, which also doubles as a prop wrench. So you pull that out, and here, let's see if we can get that focused in. All right, I think that's focused. You got a little prop right there and a little wrench sign. So you go over here, you tighten you take your prop off. You can clear any obstructions like fishing line in case you tangle your fishing line inside there. Well, you can just do a quick maintenance thing and then tighten it back up. So that's awesome to have. Put that right back. You got forward-facing flush mount rod holders that are built in the perfect position to holster your rod. And then you got one over there on the right-hand side as well. You got these pockets right here and right there. So what this doubles as, it's the perfect length to hold a hog trough. And when you're measuring your fish, for those of you tournament fishermen out there, or someone like me who likes to measure the fish, you can just rest that. The hog trough is not gonna go forward, backwards. So another thing what you can do is, as you have that hog trough in there and you're here in the boat and you need to take a photo, well, you come up here with the boat or with the board right there and then snap your photo. Plenty of space to be able to do that. When you're not using it, you can store it. You see this little groove right here? It runs the length to over here. That is where you can store your hog trough or your catch board. So very, very, very nice to have that. And then we move back a little bit further. 2 built-in cup holders with handles. So the carry handles are nice and sturdy. You come over here to the seat. One of the things that I asked Old Town was, hey, let's have the ability to do high and low seating positions. They definitely listened to me and to all of you out there that expressed interest in something like that. So they did that. Here's the high position. You go a couple of inches down, and here is the low position. So you lock your bar into whatever position you want. So this goes forward a little bit, and then back here, there is the bar right there in the high. It goes forward, so it drops down over here on this lip. That's the low position. Let's move back a little bit. So the seat itself, plenty of padding for this guy. It is air cooled, like so. It's air cooled. The mesh is it's that type of mesh that allows a gust of wind to cool you down. And the padding for all day comfort, very simple strap system where you just tighten it down and that's it. You do it for the other side as well. And then you can just loosen it up with the buckles right there. So you can recline, you can pull it up, and you're good to go. Right here to the right-hand side of the seat, you've got dry storage. So for those of y'all that are familiar with Old Town, you'll know that these right here keep lots of gear dry. Normally you can put like a wallet, a cell phone, keys, anything that you don't want getting wet. Well, you got this storage in here, so that's good to have, and know that it's going to be locked in there nice and tight. It's got the rubber gasket right here, which keeps it watertight. All right, now underneath the seat, you've got your battery box. This is for a Group 27 size sealed lead acid battery. That's your standard marine grade battery. So you got all that room inside there. You've got your positive terminal, your negative terminal, and then the quick disconnect goes right inside this little quick disconnect right here. It's spring loaded. It's got a little bit of dielectric grease inside there and here to keep it corrosion free. So you got that. I'm gonna do the lithium route. So it's able to use the sealed lead acid style battery or the lithium style battery. And I've opted to go the lithium route. I'm gonna be saving on a lot of space. So my battery will not take up half the space that's needed, or half the space that's needed for the other style battery. Plus the other style battery is like 40 something pounds. Lithium batteries are gonna be super light. They are god-awful expensive, but I'd rather cut down on the weight that I'm actually gonna be taking out there. Right here, behind the battery box, you've got the in-hull access for the center of the boat. And then over here, you've got a little cutout to where you can put tackle trays. So this is where I will keep my tackle trays from now on. I'll switch up the size that I'm gonna take out there. Normally y'all see me with the one Plano, I think it's the little red rubber gasket one, which is a little bit bigger than this, but I can bring the blue ones and I can fit those right here for my tackle, and it's gonna be easy to reach it. So there we go, just like that. I can reach down right here, grab my tackle. You got the rudder deployment system. That's classic Old Town. And check this out. So here, let's get this shot right there. As you flip that right there, the rudder starts to deploy. Now let's go take a look at that rudder itself. Look at how big this thing is. Now the old rudders from Old Town were normally about that wide, just like that. Same size, but it didn't have the other half of that rudder. So now you're gonna be able to turn on a dime. And this rudder is gonna be able to displace a lot of water, and you'll either go straight if you wanna go straight, or you're gonna be able to turn really quick if you wanna turn quick. So nice to have. Now back on the other side, you've got your classic Old Town style paddle holder with the rubber lockdown. This clip right here definitely holds your paddle. It keeps it there, and you know it's gonna be there, even in rough water, whenever the swells come in between your boat and your paddle as it tries to force it off on some other kayaks that their paddle clipping system is just horrible. This will definitely hold your paddle in place. So you got that. And then moving back into the tank well, 2 flush mount rod holders facing to the rear of the boat. That's nice to have if that's your type of thing, if you like to troll or anything like that, or you just need something to just hold a rod that isn't facing forward because you're doing something up there. But you got those there. You got this little cassette plug right here. It's like a little lid that goes whenever you remove your motor. This bungee system, you just pull it off right there, and then you drop it in over here if you just want to paddle your boat. And then there's a little cleat there, and then there's one up there at the front of it. That is going to keep water from splashing up into the boat, and now you can essentially paddle this if you want. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 scuppers back here. Look how cavernous this tank well is. Oh my gosh, there is tons of space back here for, okay, so I'm gonna use a crate, and I still have room to throw an ice chest or my fish bag, you name it. There is plenty of room back here. It is just so crazy. One of the things that I forgot to mention up there, I don't know if I did or didn't, the gear track. You got one back here as well, two of them actually. So you got two back here, two up at the front, and yeah, bungee system to keep gear tethered down. And then look at this. For those of you that want a shallow water anchoring system, I have one, and yeah, it's shallow water ready for your anchoring system. And then if you wanted to add one over here, I asked the Old Town reps and they said it's not completely reinforced over here the way it is here, but if you figured out a way, so they're basically saying do it on your own. Either way, I don't think there's going to be a need for me to do this, because with this one right here, with that stake, whenever I deploy it down into the mud, I'm going to carry another little pole with me for shallow water use, and I can stick it through one of these 5 scuppers, and I'm going to save about $1,000 buying another anchor system. So that is it. That is your Old Town Sportsman Autopilot 120, the 12-foot version. They also have the 136, and that is going to be a beast. So think this on steroids. The carry capacity for this boat here, let's get the sell sheet because I don't want to tell y'all wrong. And here we go. So 12 foot long, 37 inches wide. The whole weight is 85 pounds. The motor weight, 24 pounds. Total capacity, 558 pounds. That is crazy for this little 12-foot boat. Gear and people capacity, 400 pounds. And then I know we're not talking about the 136, but the 136 specs, for those of you that are interested in it, 13 foot 6 inches, 37 inches wide, 95 pounds for the hull. Motor weight still stays the same. The carry capacity, like the total capacity for the 136, is 660 pounds. And then the gear and people capacity is 500 pounds. Max battery life on a 100 amp hour battery, approximately 25 hours. Typical battery life under a 100 amp hour is about 8 hours. Full throttle battery life, 2 hours. 100 amp hour battery. So let's see, new fully charged battery or flat water with a moderate load, your runtime might vary. So those are just like estimates. We will definitely put ours through the test whenever I get my battery. The 45-pound thrust motor, through hole wiring kit, iPilot remote, heading feature. Yes, that is something that I forgot to tell y'all about. I mean, this boat is just so loaded with features. So you see this little button right there with the N here. Let's see, get that focused in. You face your motor in whichever direction that you want to go, or let's just say you keep your motor in a straight position. Okay, so it's facing straight right there, and you hit this heading button. What that's going to do is your motor will take off in that direction and hold your line while you're like moving from spot to spot. So let's say we're done right here fishing in our spot, and we want to go way over there where all the fish are biting because we see the birds blowing up. You head your boat in that direction, hit your heading button right there, and then now you can tend to your lures, you can swap things out. You don't even have to worry about steering because your boat, the motor, is going to do that for you. Simply amazing. This guy is competitively priced to definitely put a dent in the market for those of y'all that are serious about going fishing. For you tournament anglers out there, this guy is going to be able to change the way you're flipping to bass beds, the way you're fishing the pylons underneath a bridge, the way you're fishing rocks or structure offshore. Anything that you see, you hit that spot lock button and you're as good as gold, because your unit is going to hold you there to be able to fish and concentrate on fishing. Not worry about having to sit down because you got to work a rudder or anything like that. Yes, you can work the rudder with the foot controls, and that would require you to sit down, but you can also stand up with this lanyard around your neck. You just get up and then you can work the rudder while standing up. No need to sit down and worry about that back there. Yeah, I've had an opportunity to use this several times now, and I'm telling y'all what, don't take my word for it. Go out to a demo day, try this boat out. It is going to change the way you look at fishing from a kayak. So I'm running out of good things to say about the boat. I can't talk highly enough about it. Like, I'm up here at the bow and I just noticed that you see the way this groove is right here. That's another design that Old Town put into it on both sides so that you can lay your rods. If you want to lean them down and put the butt of the rod right here, and then the tip of your rod goes right over there. It is just loaded with features galore. And again, look them up. Click the link in my description down below. That's going to take you to Old Town's website to allow you to do your own personal reading about this boat. You can see all the features in depth through the high resolution photos that Old Town has taken. Click on that link, go there, do your own research. Again, this boat is going to change the way you fish. All right, that is it. Very long-winded, but I wanted to try to capture everything that I personally know and have experienced with the boat. And you can't do that in like a very quick video. Otherwise, I'd be talking a mile a minute. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, tight lines, everyone.